Oh, I can't stand it. I would much rather go out with Darian than study for this exam.
Oh, well, you can't. Come back here. You promised to study more. Don't you remember? Everyone's counting on you.
But...
No buts, Serena, or else.
Oh, right, step off. Really, Luna, you're tripping when it comes to knowing what's on a girl's mind.
Oh, true, I know there's nothing on your mind.
Moon Podcast Escalation!
Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan D. White.
My name is Chris Sims, and this is Sailor Business. It's the podcast where we sit down with a friend each and every week to watch an episode of the classic 1992 Sailor Moon anime and talk about just why it is that we love it so much. And today, oh boy, uncharted territory for me, not for Jordan. Jordan's third time through territory, I think.
No, only second time.
Only second?
No idea. I didn't watch this season when it originally aired because I had already because of the long break. I had given up on it, so I didn't watch it the first time. I watched this for the first time maybe 6-7 years ago now.
Yeah, so we are starting Sailor Moon S with episode 90, Premonition of the Apocalypse. The mysterious new Guardians appear. And yeah, I've never watched past the end of R. I don't even think I watched the last episode of R because I was shocked at how terrible it was. But this is going to be my first time going through these, and I'm actually really, really excited. Especially based on this particular episode, which I liked an awful lot, which is a refreshing feeling after hating Sailor Moon R so goddamn much.
Yeah.
Now, to help us talk about it, we have a guest welcoming back to the show. I already called you the Ami to Jordan's Greg. I don't have another one of those loaded up. I really should have written down two, knowing that we were going to record twice. Dr. Devon White is here. Dr. White, how are you this morning?
I am well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm fine. I'm a little sleepy. Because I drank my coffee, I drank a cup of coffee the first time we tried recording today, and then the second time where it actually went really smoothly, so I'm out of coffee now. But
you're out of coffee?
Yeah, but it's okay. The excitement of new Sailor Moon will see me through.
Okay. All right. Gosh.
I hope you're right. Yeah.
Now, I am going to assume, Devon, that there have been no Sailor Moon developments in your life over the past 15 minutes.
No,
but
just this fever dream about this clip episode, but other than that, nothing new.
A premonition?
Do you think people, if this is someone's new episode, because we do get new listeners all the time who don't necessarily jump back into the archives, they just want to see what we're all about. Do you think people should skip that episode of this show?
No, because we were funny in how unhappy we were, I think.
I don't think we can determine that, Jordan. I think we need to wait for reactions.
We were funny.
If you enjoy human misery, you should definitely watch that episode. Listen,
so Jedi, that one's for you.
Yeah,
there you go. But now we have a whole new one.
Yes, it's very exciting. But before we get to that, do you want to talk about a little bit of Sailor Business?
Oh, we have more Sailor Business?
Well, we have the usual amount of Sailor Business. Just a heads up for everybody. The TShirt Club is at sailorbusiness.ttoki.com. If we haven't explained that in a while, that's where we have a special, unique design every month for listeners of Sailor Business to check out. The shirts are $15. They're printed up by Christina Murdaugh, who is a previous and future guest of this show, and designed by various people, including guests like Shannon Maynor, Christina Murdaugh herself. Our current shirt was designed by Christy O'Brien Murphy. And it is fantastic. It is an extremely obscure reference. It's the Pizza Coffee shirt. So if people want to check that out. A
restaurant that they go to in the episode with the Chug-a-Lug Charm Juice, which was probably called A Charmed Life in the Deke version. I can't remember what the Japanese version was called.
Yeah, they go to a restaurant called Pizza Coffee, which is decorated only with chickens.
As of right now, if plans are correct, this episode is dropping before the Pizza Coffee shirt goes away. So, but it's scheduled to be gone, I think, this coming Sunday, the 16th, was the last day it's supposed to be up. So definitely go out there and get Pizza Coffee. Pick up yourself a Pizza Coffee shirt quick, because they're going fast. No, not because they're going fast, because it will go away and then it will all be sent out after that.
There will be enough to satisfy all orders up to the time that we stop selling it.
Yes.
Time is going fast, as time always does. The product is remaining.
Yeah, I mean, like, we talk about people listening to the, we got tweets today from someone going like, oh, I just started listening, I love it, they're going to get to, the Kind-Hearted Girl Genius shirt and be like, oh, I wish I could have bought that. So definitely make sure you buy all the shirts, because otherwise you'll regret it.
Yeah, just buy them all, so that somebody has a stock left.
This is a sound financial strategy for life in general.
Yeah, you could consider them an investment for future fans you could sell them to.
Also, just to let everybody know, we're still taking our listeners' thoughts and our future guest thoughts on whether we want to restructure the show to only having one guest per episode rather than one guest per 2 episodes. For more details on that, check out the last episode and get in touch and let us know what you think. Jordan, any other Sailor business?
I don't think there's any other business, just lots of Twitter questions to answer.
All right, well then let's dive back to fucking May or whatever it is. Answer some
I'm
Twitter
in July.
questions.
I'm getting some questions from July.
Okay, these are relevant here in October.
Chris, King Riptor wants to know, if someone made a shirt of a Batman logo wearing a tuxedo mask, hat, and glasses, would Chris wear it? And by glasses, I think he means mask.
Yeah, he probably means mask. The 2 words in his name are tuxedo and mask.
So a Batman symbol wearing a top hat and mask. Would you wear that shirt?
No.
But I think if you would, listeners, let's make this shirt. I really think we should.
Yeah, I'm sure DC wouldn't care at all if we sold a T-shirt with the Batman logo on it.
Well, it wouldn't be the Batman logo anymore, because it would have a tuxedo hat and a mask on.
Why wouldn't it just...
Why wouldn't it just...
It would you know what? I said last episode, we don't let any shirts we don't believe in go off on sailorbusiness.ttoki.com, and I do not believe in this shirt. So let's move on.
Oh.
Wow.
Let's see. What else we got? Paul Siebert wants to know, doesn't Neo Crystal Tokyo make more sense if Neo Queen Serenity is the figurehead of a constitutional monarchy like the UK?
I don't know. So why would you not want to let Usagi run every aspect of your life from her crystal palace?
Yeah, I'm going to guess no. It makes less sense because it looks crazy. And it has lots of crystal points that are made out of ice cream shops and luck shops and stuff.
I'm about ready for the return of benevolent monarchy, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, good news for you. One of the candidates is looking to bring back
benevolent monarchy. I said benevolent monarchy.
Yeah, that's the problem. When it's the monarchy, you sort of have to hope and pray for the benevolent part because you don't get any say.
How about this? I'm ready for the return of rule by Sailor Moon. Specifically, a Sailor Moonarchy.
Sailor Moonarchy.
Wow.
Woo!
Moonarchy. That's actually the origin of the word monarchy. It was originally... No, that's not true. It started in the Silver Millennium. Who was it? Someone was writing into us recently saying something about the Silver Millennium and about how it was called the Silver Millennium, but it wasn't actually 1,000 years ago. Like, that's a thing that people misinterpreted by the fact that it's called Silver Millennium. Whatever. Anyway, let's move on. I'll probably get to that tweet.
Well, I mean, look, if people are misinterpreting that is what that word means.
No, but that just means it lasted for 1,000 years. Wouldn't you think? Not that
I don't even think that. I think it's just a cool name for the kingdom.
Oh, so it's a location. It has nothing to do with time.
I think Silver Millennium is the name of the kingdom.
Like the Millennium Falcon is not 1,000-year Falcon.
Right, exactly.
Wait, what?
Jesse Withens asks, do you think it's possible that Sailor Moon's buns are her hair and that the long, quote-unquote, hair is hair-colored ribbons or extensions?
No.
I can't even believe you asked that question to us. No, we've seen her with her hair down. We've seen her with her hair down, so I mean, I guess it could be extensions and we would never know.
I mean, if they are, she's committed because she sleeps with them.
That's true. She does. She sleeps in them. Chris, you don't like crossover questions.
I don't.
But here's one anyway.
Oh, please, just notice how this is such a parallel to my life. This is wow.
At Hatching Phoenix wants to know, what would a Tuxedo Mask and Skeleton Man team up be? Apologies if you've already answered this.
I feel like we've already answered this because I know that I've talked about Skeleton Man pretty recently. Skeleton Man is, in many respects, the American Tuxedo Mask. He is the boyfriend and sidekick of Taro, Witch of the Black Rose, a pretty adult comic book series by Jim Ballant, and he is also the worst superhero ever.
Oh my God, I mean, I don't know if it's appropriate to call him super or hero.
He has powers, and he wears a costume, and he occasionally attempts to fight crime.
I was going to say...
And loses every single time.
I was going to say that that Skeleton Man is much more often molested by the people who capture him. But then I remembered Queen Beryl, and I went, oh, maybe not much more often.
Yeah, the one thing I think you can really give to Taro, Witch of the Black Rose, and there is only one thing, is that it really goes all out in attempting to subvert the hero and damsel gender roles by having like Skeleton Man is just like constantly kidnapped and groped by enemies. Except that Taro also is too, because it's a very, very bad comic. So
yeah, but she frees herself and him. So they both sort of in equal measure get kidnapped and trussed up and poked. But at the end of the day, it's always her that saves them both. She saves herself, and then she saves him.
I think I know exactly what that crossover would look like, too, which is, you know that one Far Side cartoon where that kid is just leaning hard against the pole door?
Yep.
That's, like, just imagine that, but with Tuxedo Mask and Skeleton Man, and they're just, like, trying to get out of a cell they have been locked in, and it is an unlocked, unlabeled door that they are pushing on when it clearly has a handle. That's their team up.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one that is relevant, especially relevant to the fact that my wife is here. DanceMix95 wants to know, if you had children and were only allowed to use Sailor Moon references as names, what would you name them?
Oh, well.
I mean, we've definitely talked about naming a child Serena before.
Yeah, Serena. Luna's a great name.
I don't know. I think of Luna as a cat. I could not. I don't think I could handle.
You can't
Luna
get
as a
over that
person.
psychological hurdle.
I don't think I could do that.
Serena's
you wouldn't name your daughter Devon Small Lady Serenity White.
Small Lady Devon. At one point,
Small
we
Lady
joked
Devon.
about having a daughter named Jordan and a son named Devon. But I think
just
that was
screw up everybody.
that was just a joke.
That was just. I don't know. It was spiteful against the world.
Yeah.
You know, it occurs to me we are both couples with 4 different gender neutral names.
Oh yeah.
Jordan, Devon, Chris, and Aiden.
There you go.
Nice.
It's like the Pat sketch all over again. No, it's not.
All right, let's do one more and then move on.
Well, no, hold on. But you didn't even answer the question.
Yeah, you have to answer.
Oh, I would name my child Christopher Small Gentleman Serenity Sims.
You would not. You'd name your kid
just in quotes, Legendary Silver Crystal Sims. Legendary Silver Crystal Sullivan Sims, I think is a good name.
That is a pretty fun name.
Yeah.
Right.
Malefic Black Crystal.
Malefic, just as a first name, Malefic.
That's a boy name, right?
Middle name, Black Crystal.
As opposed to Maleficent?
Right. It's the male for Maleficent. Yes, exactly. That's how names work.
Okay, here we go. Chris, this is a question that we can answer and make the Sailor Moon people a lot of money. Hatching Phoenix, again, asks, Pokemon Go is very popular with humans these days. If you could design one, what would a Sailor Moon ARG be like?
That's interesting. I don't think Sailor Moon, because here's the thing about Pokemon Go. Pokemon is a game about walking around and catching Pokemon. Like, Sailor Moon is not about, like, walking around looking for things, except in that one episode where they're trying to look for the entrance to the Negaverse.
Maybe they could find crystals, rainbow crystals or something.
They could
Maybe they could just, like...
they could throw tiaras at Cardians.
That
That's a
might be
tough
pretty
one.
cool. You can use your phone's camera to draw a crystal out of someone's heart, because apparently everybody's got a goddamn crystal in their heart.
Oh, you know what? How about this? You know how Pokemon Go caught on, and then all of a sudden, like, shops were being like, we set up a what? I don't play it, so I don't know. We set up a Pokemon thing. I don't.
Yeah, that's right, a Pokemon thing. That's what it's called.
And so now you come into our shop and
Popular
you'll
thing
get
in the world for like 2 months, but
to use our Pokemon thing. Listen, I didn't play it. So it could be like that, but like all Jedi. So it's like all about like getting actual businesses to like sign into it, and you have to go. You go to like actual stores, and then they have like there's little special monsters that you fight.
that would be pretty cool if each store had its own thematic monster. Like I went to a spice store yesterday, and if like there was just a big salt shaker with like pepper grinders for fists.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be pretty fantastic.
And so, yeah, it's all about going to like every store and I mean, again, for people who live in the middle of nowhere, that would kind of suck then. But if you live in a city,
That's
you're all
the way
set.
Pokemon Go works too, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
Pokemon Go
Is it? Okay.
also sucks. I mean, don't you remember your brother used to bike for like miles and miles
Did
to
he?
go catch Pokemon?
No, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he'd go biking to other towns to catch
Jesus.
Pokemon.
Yeah, y'all up in New York don't know how good you have it with the Pokemon situation.
Yeah, except I never played it, so I really don't know. Anyway, so do you want to stop there?
Yeah, let's move on into the episode, because I gotta say, I am excited about Sailor Moon S. Bold New World.
Okay.
Now, Jordan, do you have the English name of this episode ready from when it was being brought over by Cloverway?
We wrote it down. We have it here, yep.
Now, this is our first experience with the Cloverway names, right?
Yes.
So, are they as bad as the Deke names?
Seems like it. Sailor Moon. Yeah, I mean, just going from this one, sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and guess. That's a tradition that we have on the show. What happens in this episode that they could name it after? Does it have anything to do with the arrival of Uranus and Neptune?
No, not really. No.
Okay, how about Bad Fortune?
Close.
Yeah, it's very close. Here, we'll give you well, that's not going to help. I was going to say I'll give you the hint that it has a rhyme in it, but that won't really do anything. Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah, what is it?
Devin, you could tell him.
It is called Starstruck Bad Luck.
Oh, that was pretty close. Starstruck
you were
Bad
very
Luck. That's not as bad a title as I was expecting.
I mean, but yeah, it's just a goofy title. I mean, whatever.
That wasn't like Wish Upon a Star or
All right.
Lucky Clover or whatever else the people at Deke would call it.
Lucky Clover, advertising because they're taking over.
Yeah, there you go. 4-leaf Cloverway.
Hashtag buy all our stuff.
Excellent. So this is the start of the season. How do we kick off this season?
Well, we've got a new intro. We've got a new intro sequence. This is intro sequence number 5.
Not only is it a new intro sequence, it's a new version of the song.
Yeah, same song, slightly different recording.
Yeah.
The thing that I wrote down about the new intro, the most notable thing, is that the determined walking of the first introduction has been replaced with actual flying. So I don't know if the Sailor Scouts can fly now or not.
We've seen them fly before, very randomly, and went, what the fuck was that?
Yes.
Actually, before that, we actually get Ray's vision of them all dying, turning to stone and crumbling.
Yes. And there is a line in this where Ray is speaking to someone in the dream, and she says the phrase, "Are you the Messiah?" Yeah. And I wrote down that is a strange... I wrote down that is a strange question to ask when you already know the destined queen of the universe who has conquered death
Also,
and made everyone immortal.
I mean, she's a Shinto shrine maiden, right? Like, I didn't think they had a whole lot of Messiah stuff going on in Shintoism. Perhaps I am incorrect, but...
Well, I got some news for you. We're also going to be hearing about the Holy Grail a little bit later, so be prepared for this show to go way off the rails.
So then we get the title of the episode, and then... Oh, we forgot to mention. So at the beginning of... This is the best part. At the beginning of Ray's dream premonition where she sees everything dying, she hears and it's like, what the fuck is that sound? Well, spoiler, she wakes up and she's sleeping at her table next to Usagi, who is snoring. So she was hearing Usagi's snores, and they were causing her to see the end of the world. No, they were just leaking into the end of the world.
Or is that just what the end of the world sounds like?
One of the two. Just a coincidence.
That was a bang,
she wakes,
but with a snore.
she wakes up Usagi. Now, I'll tell you what's weird about this to me. There's 2 girls sleeping at the table. There's 3 other girls just sitting there like, let them sleep. Like, what? How weird is that? Like, how often do you hang out with a group of your friends and a couple of you are just sleeping? It's not like they're saying, oh, man, we've been up all night. They're just there to study, and 2 of them are asleep, and the others are just like, whatever.
Well, I think that's probably I'll explain this away. I'll get your no prize ready. Usagi and Ray are sleeping. Hashtag cookbook is they're like kind of caught up in each other. Oh. They're only paying attention to each other.
Well. No, it already is implausible that even her supposed girlfriend is not going to distract Amy from an open textbook.
Well,
no way.
Ami's explaining things to Mako. We see it 4 minutes and 53 seconds. I wrote down the timestamp because there is some quality cookbook.
Oh yeah, with them
in this scene. And Minako is only really alive when someone's paying attention to her. So.
Speaking of which, we get some prime. So they start talking about how they're in their 3rd year of middle school, which means they have to take the high school entrance exams this year, and so they're cramming for them, they're studying for them, and they all start talking about that. And we get a classic Mina doesn't know phrases joke, which she says the phrase being "you can't re-get it later." And then Amy literally freaks out and goes, no. Do not listen to that. It's you can't regret it later. And then she says, well, I don't know. When Artemis ate that cod roe, we were not able to re-get it again.
I think the best part of the scene, it's very subtle and happens very quickly. After Ray wakes up, you see her, Usagi's asleep and her head's on the table. It's one of the nicest and kindest friend moments I've seen on the show. Ray just, while she's talking to the other girls, just reaches over, grabs Usagi's head, and gently props her back upright to wake her up. It is a very quick bit of animation, and it's awesome.
She, grabs her head and lifts it back into place. It's very weird.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's cute. I think because you can see she's not squeezing it. She's got one hand on her cheek and one hand on her forehead, and she's just propping her back up in her chair. It's delightful.
But and Serena takes it very well. I mean, can you imagine if you were asleep on the table and someone just grabbed parts of your head and lifted it up? That would be very jarring.
It would be awkward.
That would not be the best way to wake up. Serena's just but I would not react like that.
I feel like at this point, these girls have been friends for 2 years. This is not the first time that Usagi has fallen asleep around a table. At this point, they're just yeah, Usagi's asleep, I got it. And they just set her back up.
Regularly grabbing her head and hauling her up by her face into a sitting up position. You're describing
it as a much more violent action than it is.
But
because you don't want people touching your face.
You don't want people, and also she does it as if she is very light and malleable. The human body asleep, passed out, is a heavy thing. She'd have to really Ray is very strong in this because she just grabs her face and lifts it ever so gently, taking her entire torso with it. I mean, it's adorable. That's the thing, is it's really super cute, and Serena looks so happy about the whole damn thing. There was just a part of my brain that went this isn't physically plausible, but it's really cute to watch.
Back on the Venus front, in the dub, they have her say, "There's no use crying over misspelled silk."
Can we talk about the outfits for a second? Because we've got brand new. These are brand new civilian clothes for the Scouts.
Okay.
We've got Jupiter in a green turtleneck. Ami is wearing a puffy sleeved piratey blouse with a blue vest and a choker. She's clearly trying out a new look.
Yeah, I don't know. You think it looks great?
I think she looks great.
I don't think she looks like her, though. It looks weird.
She can look however she wants to look. She looks fantastic. Look at that.
If you say so.
I do say so.
Minako is wearing a teal dress with like a sailor collar that I am not into at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ray is just a mess of colors.
Yeah, it's Ray's
And Ray is
wearing
trying
her.
out for a baseball team.
Oh, really? I feel like she's wearing her nightshirt. Like that's not something she would wear in public.
She just threw She threw on her PJs and came
Yeah.
to study.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm so used to being in comfortable robes that I can't wear constraining clothes anymore.
So basically, the scene is her dwelling on this nightmare she had, and while everybody else is studying, and then you do get to see your cookbook studying fest over in the background.
Yeah, it's some good stuff. It's quality.
Here's the part where I wrote down, I don't know what I exactly wrote down, but where I said, good, after 2 seasons of crystal powers and fortune telling, we get some hard science.
Yeah, hard science. That seems to require 1,000 test tubes, all connected to God knows what.
We turned to some hard science.
Oh my Lord.
Yes, 1,000 bazillion pink test tubes, or test tubes full of pink goop. Bubbling. Well, those are the little those are the eggs. Those are the.
Oh no, I know the little cells or whatever.
Wait, Devon, you're a medical doctor.
I am, in fact, yes.
Is this not like? Is this not medicine? Is this not what a lab looks like?
Right. Not precisely.
So
It's better if you don't let your things explode.
so Dr. Tomo
That's hardly success.
Dr. Tomo takes one of his little pink test tubes that has a little one cell in it.
Looks like a little gamete.
And then he pours it into the green goop, and
Not how that works.
it starts growing and growing, and it literally explodes the beaker it's in. But it's okay because it grew into a floating egg seed,
Yeah, that's not what that looks like to
and
me.
it literally glows like it casts light.
That looks like all kinds of something inappropriate to me.
What?
Just saying.
Oh, it's a diamond egg.
Yeah, we've had Yoma, we've had Cardians, we've had droids, and now we have diamonds. Not related to Prince Demand. These are different.
Yeah.
No. It's more like a demon. It's like a weird system demon. Except
you
it's
said
made through
this guy's
science,
name-
not magic.
You said this guy's name is Dr. Tomo.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Okay, I did
Or is it
not catch
professor?
that watching this episode.
Oh, is that? I'm not even sure if they say it. I think that might be something we just know.
We just know that's his name. Maybe I think they might say it at the end. They definitely say it in the dub, in the Clever Way dub. So
Does
I would
his
assume
sidekick have a name? The
Yes.
redhead?
he just said at the beginning of this scene. It's Kaorinite. Kaorinite. Let me see.
Okay, so she's Kaolinite, as it's translated in the new subtitles.
Yeah, that's him calling her over.
Okay, so as I've mentioned before, like 18 times on this episode, I've never seen any of these episodes. I don't know what this guy's deal is. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what her deal is, but I have a theory.
Oh, well, I look forward to hearing it. Let's hear it.
Okay, well, it's been mentioned. It was mentioned on the last episode. He has nerd glasses. He has the big nerd glasses. He has dark hair, and the lady has red hair. Is this Umino and Naru from the future? Does Naru grow up to be really hot?
Well, probably yes, because everyone here looks the same. But no,
I appreciate how she went to speech therapy to work on that accent.
Yes, as well. She got rid of her accent. No, this isn't them. That's wonderful.
You
though.
both have an advantage over me on that. I don't know what she sounds like in the old dub.
Oh yeah, right. Well, she doesn't have a Brooklyn accent.
We gotta go find some people with pure hearts.
What's weird is in the dub. To me, again, having only seen the dub before now, they call her. I don't think they call her Kaolinite in the dub. They call her Kaori Knight, and so I always did not even. I thought it was like 2 words. Like her first name is Kaori and her last name is Knight.
Well, that's what it is in the dub.
They changed it.
It's Kaori Knight.
Okay, they actually changed it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just always heard it and went, oh, it sounds like 2 words. And then when we saw this one, I was like, oh, this one, her name is one name. That's weird.
They changed it for the dub.
Okay, I didn't realize that. So there you go. In the dub, she has 2 names. First name Kaori, last name Knight. He makes the little egg, the daemon egg, and he sends it out to find someone with a pure heart. Now, why would you want someone with a pure heart? People who are not already science learned are asking. And the answer is because he wants to get the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail that will let him control the world as he pleases. And the way you get the Holy Grail is you bring together 3 talismans. And the way you get the 3 talismans is they are they are crystals of the chosen ones with genuine pure hearts. So he's got to find someone with a pure heart that will have a talisman in it. And if he gets the 3 talismans, he can get the Holy Grail. And then the world.
This is all in the Bible, Jordan. I don't know.
No. Scientist. This is a scientist.
No, this is all, like, biblical scholars agree, this is exactly how it works.
Yeah, that's how the Holy Grail was?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is
It's
an
in
Indiana
there.
Jones
You just gotta
crossover?
read it.
Okay.
All the answers are in the good book, Jordan.
I don't know. I have a feeling Dr. Tomo is a scientist, and I don't know if he believes that stuff.
In Japan, this stuff is science. Science works differently in Japan.
So he laughs like a madman, which is pretty fun.
And the animation in this looks really, really great, I should say, because he's all in silhouette with these weird colored backgrounds, except for his glasses, which are all white. Like, it's a really cool and stylish and weird introduction to what I assume is going to be, at least for a little bit, our main villains. But yeah, they look really cool. And the effect of Kaola Knight walking into the room in the lab coat and then, like, teleporting out. Like, she enters in a very normal way and she leaves in this shower of sparks that, like, the lab coat kind of drifts to the ground. Yeah. It's a really, really cool setup for them. I like them already.
Good. So he sends the egg goes flying away. I just paused this with the egg flying away. There's a vending machine for Aurora coffee, so that's fun. There's a couple of vending machines, because actually my next note is also about a vending machine, but it's one that we don't see for a moment. Because the next thing that happens is we fade to Usagi. Ooh! I just paused it on her test. I didn't read what her test says.
Quick editor's note. Chris and Jordan wanted me to mention that, as a disclaimer, they don't have the proper context for what they're about to talk about, so keep that in mind as we move forward with the show.
One day, Mr. Ikuhara went to Roppongi to do Nanpa?
Nanpa.
He was, tired after a big work. Ooh, yeah, this is not great English. So he applied for comfort to any tender girl. But he was
This is a bad test, Patricia.
But he was caught blank, knew half. What the fuck does that mean?
He said no.
Yeah, okay, this is the example on her English test.
Wow.
Usagi got a 5 on this test, and it says, "I'm begging you, study harder." Was the handwritten note.
So what's Nanpa?
I do not know.
Let's see. Let's ask Dr. Google.
After a big work, he applied for comfort to any tender girl.
What does that mean?
Wow.
Yeah, I think this is something that was never.
You know
meant
what it
to...
means. You know exactly what it means. Don't even
Nanpa,
pretend. Yeah.
Nanpa in Japanese culture is a type of flirting and seduction popular among teenagers and people in their 20s and 30s.
Oh.
He went to Roppongi to go flirt with some girls?
Yeah. He was tired after a big work, so he was like, I gotta flirt with some girls.
Oh my god.
It's street harassment. Groups of Nanpa boys will gather around places with busy, predominantly female foot traffic, bridges, subway stations, shopping malls, etc., and approach women in search of a date. The Nanpa groups generally wear high fashion with nice suits, expensive shoes, and extravagant hairstyles. Because of their style of dress, Nanpa boys are occasionally misinterpreted by foreigners as employees of host clubs, who also roam such areas speaking with various women. Yeah, like, it's...
So basically, this would be an English version of the test would be going, one day John was like bored and he was like, I'm going to go see if I can get a girl to sleep with me.
Hit up some girls.
And just walks out onto the street and starts going, hey, beautiful, why don't you smile more?
Any girl would do it.
Why
was this never my English test? Why was this never my English test? Also, look,
I'm pretty sure this English test was not meant to ever be seen.
No.
It's amazing. Are you kidding?
No. Yeah, Devon just pointed out that Usagi drew a little rabbit at the end of her name when she signed it.
A winking rabbit with a little heart coming from his head. Like, she signs her name and draws a little winking heart rabbit.
This is
Yeah,
great. I totally need
just
the screen.
in case you missed it, Kunihiko Ikuhara was a director on many episodes of Sailor Moon.
Oh no!
So I feel like this is like slipped in there as a joke about Ikuhara having an ill-fated attempt at seduction. We should absolutely move on.
This is brilliant. This is amazing. Are you kidding?
I do love that Haruna, who is making some bad tests, wrote, "I'm begging you, study harder." That is a great note to get on a test.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
Well, she got a 5 out of 100. So then she's sadly walking past a kook machine. Did you see that?
I didn't see the kook machine.
It's a Coke machine, except it has 2 O's.
So clearly it's not Coke, it's Kook.
It's kook.
Go get me a nice can of Kook.
That made me very happy. Or
Melvin-
cook. I
look,
guess you
Melvin
could
is
pronounce
like,
it cook.
did you see how Melvin looks like completely flabbergasted by the test?
So she's sadly walking, lamenting her test, not even drinking a kook. And she starts going, "Oh my God, this is so awful. I don't want anybody to know about this. I especially don't want Ray to know about this."
Because Ray's a bitch.
Because Ray's a bitch, and she will say something really mean. That's what she always shows up when something mean is happening.
'Cause she's got bitch dark.
So, but coincidentally, Ray is also walking, sadly thinking about them all dying. So they're both walking with their heads down, and they collide forehead first into each other.
Like people do.
Pretty humorously, and it hurts. And so then they go and they rinse their foreheads at an upside down spigot in the park, which I was like, oh, okay, if that's a thing you do. Yeah, Ray starts to be mean to her, but then she doesn't. She says, "But you've got lots of other good points besides studying," or, as they say in the Cloverway dub, "You're the bomb with lots of other good qualities."
It's pretty good. Then we get like a scene where Ray is like really introspective, and she says, "What are your dreams for the future?" Which again is a very normal question, but not to someone who just got back from the fucking future.
Yeah,
where she knows she's gonna be queen of the universe.
Yeah, that's Usagi's like, "Well, I figure about 1,000 years from now I'll have a daughter, and she'll go back in time. I'll be asleep for a while."
Yeah, I guess I'm going. My dream of the future is to live in a crystal palace and have absolute dominion over the living and the dead.
Mine too.
But you're right, and like Ray knows that. I mean, I guess a lot can happen in 1,000 years. She could have done a lot of things, but she knows 1,000 years from now she's going to be standing around a fucking crystal, shooting her energy into the air for a while. So she probably has responsibilities, and yet she's like, "What I'd like to do is become a singer-songwriter and a model
And a voice actress.
And
embarrassing girl stuff.
And then she blushes and she's like, "What? And she's like, "Oh, I'm going to marry my husband." Ha ha ha! But I don't want to talk about it. Or let me.
Yeah, the Raise in Love with Memory plot needs to just die.
No. Wait. You think she's still being in love with Memora? Because I didn't get that impression at all.
Didn't she say something about Usagi being married to the men she loves? Or was that her talking about how she's one day going to be married to the men she loves?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Sorry, I misread that. Then.
The embarrassed thing is she's like, "I'm going to marry the man I love." And they're like, she's like, "Yeah, of course." And then she does then go, "I guess you're going to marry Mamoru." But I think that's just because then that's the man you love. Like, I don't think, I mean, if she's talking about any person we know, it would have to be Chad at this point.
Oh, Chad.
Ray and Chad sitting in a tree. And she thwaps the heck out of Usagi there when she's embarrassed.
Oh, I
Sitting
guess,
in a tree that then turns into an evil monster.
Or it's a tree that he has to swing through and then slam into. I'm sure I'm sure we have our listeners who would say she was embarrassed because she didn't want to say that she wanted to marry Mina.
Hey.
I don't know why.
Because Usagi doesn't understand that sort of thing.
Besides, it's like 1994. No one's cool yet.
So Ray goes home and does some.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Ray, after slamming into Usagi, says, "You were standing there like a log," which I was like, "Is that how that works?" Okay.
I don't think that's the right phrasing. I don't think logs stand.
Yeah, they sort of think they're lazy, man. They lie down.
So there you are. So the egg is flying over town and just kind of goes, "I'll pick somewhere completely at random, based on nothing." Ooh, just any old place. How about that Shinto temple there? Sounds good.
How about the Kawa Shrine? Probably not any quarter monsters down there, but I'll just look and see, just to be sure.
And so it impregnates a tree.
Uh-huh.
And
biology is a miracle, guys. Like, nature is so beautiful.
we're going to say life finds a way. Oh, that's not the Luna puppet.
Was that Luna?
That's our cat. That's Scape yelling at us.
That's the skate puppet.
Yeah, Scape is very annoying sometimes.
That cat sounds 100% fake. I don't know if you know that.
That is a real cat yelling at us.
Man.
No, I know it's real. I believe you. It just sounds 100% fake.
He's very angry. I don't know if that's true. So anyway, Ray is running home at the same time as the tree's getting impregnated. And cut to Usagi sitting on a stairway in public going like, oh man, this is so depressing. Oh, because the other really mean thing that Ray says to Usagi is, Mamoru would be really embarrassed of you if she saw that test. And so Usagi is sitting there going, oh man, she's right. My future husband would be really ashamed of me if he saw this.
My literal future husband. My husband who is my husband in the future.
Yes.
That we've been to.
Yes, and he must be embarrassed in that future.
But he seems to get over it, right?
Well, because he literally walks up behind her, angles his head over so that she goes, if he ever saw this test score, and he goes, that's terrible, and he goes, is what he would say. Oh, and then he's like, wow, you're doing bad. And she's like, oh, well, it's okay. I'm going to study really hard. And he goes, that's a really good idea, and I'll do my part by not taking you on any dates.
All right. I did actually like this scene. I thought this was kind of a cute scene because it does show, like, the first interaction between Mamoru and Usagi on the show, as you may remember, is Usagi having her really terrible test score, which was a 30, and throwing it over her shoulder and bopping Mamoru on the head, and then Mamoru going, 30? What are you, some kind of fucking idiot? You stupid piece of shit?
No idea.
Which is kind of a bad introduction to the miracle romance. But I like this one where he's just like, wow, that is not a good score. Like, he has evolved a little bit.
How come he doesn't offer to help her? Like, why doesn't he tutor her?
Maybe he doesn't speak English.
What? They all learned English in school.
Maybe he's not good at it.
Maybe he's still not, like, a good boyfriend.
Oh, there you go. Yes, I think that's what I was getting at.
Or maybe he's just like, I mean, I'd help you, but Amy is smarter than I am. So
if Amy
learns
can't
100
help
English
you,
words a
no
day.
one. That's true. If Amy can't help you, you're screwed. There's nothing for you.
So meanwhile, Ray is in her temple going, I have to, meditate on my vision. She's doing, some fire reading about it.
Like, she gets a little freaked out, and then she's like, well, I better go outside and look at a tree for a little bit. just step on outside, look at a tree, make sure everything is super cool with the trees.
No, that's not true.
She actually
goes to tie her prayer to the tree.
Oh, that's true. She does.
She goes to do a tree-specific action, and then the tree turns into a tree lady.
And you know how you know it's a lady.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it in a second.
Okay. So, no, but it does turn into a lady, like, fully clothed, like a tree grows clothes, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. And I actually, I love the monsters of the week. I know that people like Sailor Moon for the overarching story, and that's great. I love the monsters of the week. That is what I am here for. And I love the design of this monster, whose name I believe is Mikuji. Because she's got, the big, prayer thing as her hair with the two big bells on it.
Yeah, she's a prayer rope.
Yeah, she's really fun.
It's so cool.
Yeah, she's a really, really fun design. And she has, really cool powers, too. Because she can, grab you and, stick you to a wall, and then her hands break off, and then her hands regrow. It's, it's really neat.
Because her hands turn to stone, which is not a thing a tree does. But okay.
Petrified trees, Jordan. What happens?
Okay, all right, yeah. She ages her hands really quickly and then leaves them there petrified.
Yeah. So she attacks Ray. She flies in a really weird way where she kind of squats in midair and just kind of zooms around. Like she's on an invisible motorcycle.
Yes. And so she immediately nails her to the wall with her hands. And I think later on in the episode they say she's next level, powerful.
Yeah.
So she immediately like just wipes the floor with Ray. I mean, she doesn't hurt her, but she pins her to the wall and is like, done. Then we come to the part of her needing to pull out Ray's pure heart.
Yeah, so she, like, I don't think we need to really talk about this because this is totally normal. She just uses her laser cleavage.
Yes.
Like, you know how, like, when you just, like, kind of open your shirt up a little bit and laser beams shoot out of your cleavage. Like, that's all that happens.
Well, and you say a little bit. You mean like Superman style, like tearing your shirt open to show your boobs.
It's not all the way.
No, you're right. Not full frontal, but like 3/4 frontal.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
She tears her shirt open and shoots a beam of dark energy out of her
Laser
chest
cleavage.
That starts sucking out Ray's pure heart. Meanwhile, Usagi's walking down the street, talking about how much she'd rather be dating Memoru. And Luna snicks at her. Luna jumps on her head and is like, if you try to go on dates instead, I will fucking cut you.
Yeah, she says you're going to get this and like pops her claws. It's like, it's raw. I love it.
It was pretty great. Pretty great. So then she gets up to the top of the temple and she goes, I hear a scream. What's going on? Runs up, sees Ray getting heart drained, whatever you want to call it. Heart attack. That's what
she's getting zapped with the laser cleavage in order to pull a crystal out of her heart.
Yeah.
Now, Devon, you're a doctor.
Yes.
What sort of medical examination? Like, would a person be able to have a crystal in their heart for 14 years and not know about it?
I would think probably not. I would question how it got there in the first place and how it sort of, interacts with the normal hemodynamics of the heart and vascular system. No, I don't think so. No.
The problem is your patients don't have pure hearts.
We are not trash talking my patients on this show.
Oh.
None of that. I got good patients.
Now, Devon, are you familiar with like quarter monster biology?
Yeah.
Like if a person's grandfather also had a crystal inside him.
That's true.
Because that's something that can be passed down.
Well, there are of course genetic things, genetic cardiac anomalies that can be passed down from one generation to another. I have not personally had crystal in heart. Maybe like faulty valves or something.
Well, we'll have to see if this only is true for people who are quarter monster going forward. I don't want to spoil it for Chris.
I mean, if you had crystals in there, laser treatments might be good for shattering it and breaking it apart. I'm not sure how that would work for sucking it through your flesh into open air, but laser treatments are getting better all the time.
What I'm hearing is that this show is 100% scientifically and medically accurate.
Yes. It's like we're still watching episodes of House.
Which is also 100% scientifically and medically accurate.
That's why I said ow, because she is hitting me right now.
Bad, Jordan.
Anyway.
Do not get me started on House.
So Usagi transforms into Sailor Moon. Because that's what you do when there's a monster. And she thinks, this will solve this problem. I solve it all the time. And the monster is like, hey, Sailor Moon, what the? And she's like, I will never forgive you. Sailor Moon picks up this a pure heart thing right away. She's immediately like, I will punish you for doing this pure heart situation.
Yeah, but that's what to be fair, that is what she always says.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Now, here's my second episode in a row where I get to say fortune telling is bullshit.
Oh my god.
Because the monster gives everyone the same fortune. The monster just says,
Jordan,
you're going to have really bad fortune.
Jordan.
That's the only fortune she ever sees.
It's not the only fortune she ever gets.
You're right. She says extremely bad luck, and then later she says bad luck. Not extremely bad, just regular bad. And then
right when she is about to die at the end of the episode, she says good luck.
Yes, I'm assuming she's just wishing them good luck, though. Anyway, so she grabs Sailor Moon with her rope hair and slams her into the ground. And then the other scouts show up and they're like, oh, we better get in on this. But as they begin to transform, their fortune also says extremely bad luck. They get tied to trees by like those wishing sticks they have, or those fortune telling sticks.
Now, Jordan, would you say, like, do you think that's like a good thing then that all the other scouts get like tied up?
What? Why?
Because you don't think that's an accurate fortune, right? Like that it would be bad luck. Like it would have to be good luck, right? Because you don't because fortune telling's bullshit, right?
I'm totally good. I don't understand what you're saying. Fortune telling is bullshit. I will agree with that part.
It is some pretty bad luck to get your ass tied to a tree.
Of course it is.
I mean, no, according to Jordan, though, it's good luck because if it was bad luck, then this fortune would be accurate, right?
No, but Chris, it's not fortune telling for me to say, guess what? Someone's going to slap your face and then slap your face.
I don't know. That's like very accurate fortune telling.
Yeah. That's spooky.
Oh,
that's like
Jesus.
dead on.
All right. Well, great. So Sailor Moon is struggling to her feet. Guess what? Rose to the hair.
Yeah, like rose to the hair, and it sticks in the hair like it is a decoration.
Yes, he's being nice.
Oh, I know, but I cannot get over whatever platform in the middle of the cherry trees that he is standing on right now.
He's standing in a tree.
I cannot get over how he just like pokes up out of the top of a tree, and there he is.
Again, how long do you think it took him to just climb up there?
Yeah,
didn't he tell
that? Like while his future wife was just being thrashed around by this monster.
He rode a magic motorcycle
skinny branches too. Like he really went all the way. He didn't go midway, man. He went to the tippy top. How is he doing that?
The toppermost to the poppermost.
That's not a thing people say.
In the height of spring, you're a scoundrel who brought stormy weather to a pleasant sunny day, he says.
Away with you.
Line. Solid line.
So she pulls out the rose and
threatens to tell his fortune.
Now, do that thing you do every episode where you blast her and kill her. And so Sailor Moon does. And the episode ends. The end, right?
No.
Wait, what? I stopped watching there.
Oh, that's like you didn't miss much. No, Sailor Moon uses moon halation, but the monster just knocks it aside as though it were a child's toy.
Available now.
Available now. But now, like, your moon scepters, those are bullshit now, kids. So get ready to buy some new stuff.
Oh, and then the great part. Oh, by the way, so then they have this amazing shocked shot where they have everybody's face shocked. Appearing one by one on the screen, except they show Artemis's butt.
Well, his butt does look pretty shocked, to be honest.
It's like every character gasping, and then Artemis.
And then his butt is gasping. What is the problem?
It is a tight close-up on everybody's face, except Artemis is shot from behind for some reason. Then we get like a really, really cool scene where the monster, like who has turned her hands into stone and then regrown them, like flies at Sailor Moon and pins her to a tree and then bites down on the silver crystal to her brooch, and then her face turns to stone and pops off. And she goes and reforms her face and hands and feet, and it's actually like really cool. And the silver crystal like falls to the ground, and Sailor Moon reverse transforms.
Yeah.
Instead of getting back into her civilian outfit, it turns back into like her Sailor Scout outfit turns back into the pink ribbons that it turns into in the transformation sequence, and then turns back into her normal clothes, which is a really, really cool effect. I don't think we've seen that before. Like we've seen
nobody's ever.
No, I think she
clawed the crystal off her.
I think she did one time before detransform.
I think we've seen similar effects, but I don't think we've ever seen her like actually de-transform in that way, which is really, really cool, I thought.
It was great. It was great.
It was really cool.
So Usagi is now turned back into Usagi and pinned to a tree with no ability to transform. Then, just to make sure that no one can stop her, she then also ties up Tuxedo Mask, who falls off a wall.
Hilariously. Just like Pratt falls completely off that wall.
One thing that's kind of cool, a lot of the stuff, a lot of her like accoutrements, including maybe her hair, the monster, are made out of wood and have like a wood pattern on them.
Like a grain.
Yeah, the wood grain, including her shoes. She's wearing wooden high heels, which is pretty...
she's got like a belt and bracelets and anklets and shoes. I really like her design.
I think wooden high heels would be the most uncomfortable high heels probably, right? Oh, and then the cats are like, all right, it's time for us to get serious. Let's take care of this. And of course,
it's time for the cats to get involved, yo.
she smacks the
Pull out that
crap out of
secret weapon.
them. They both slam into trees in very painful ways. So then she goes, let me show you my boobs again. And she whips them out and starts blasting Ray one more time. And guess what? She successfully yanks out Ray's heart in a not bloody way. Not quite like Temple of Doom style, but like a crystal comes out of her heart and just kind of hovers there.
Yeah, and Ray is dying, I guess?
I mean, what happens if you take out the essence of someone's heart, but not physically their physical heart?
I mean, if we're going to just shift this over to Western modes, they just pulled her soul out, right? I mean,
Yeah, basically.
She pulled the soul out of her body and she's dead.
Yeah.
So that's where the episode ends.
Like
and Ray is dead.
you said, very Sirius Black.
Yeah, Sirius Black from Harry Potter 3. And that's the end.
Sailor Moon is like, it's not the end. Sailor Moon is like struggling to get away from the tree. She can't get it. Everybody's trapped. And then the fucking earth opens up and the monster is cast into hell.
Don't worry. There's water to put the fire of hell out.
Yeah. This shit's raw. Like, there's an earthquake, the ground splits open, a tidal wave comes around.
Although none of them, they all are kind of happen metaphorically. Like, they don't seem to well, because we just saw the earth rip open and we saw a tidal wave, but then we cut back to the monster just kind of standing there staggered. And then, yes, she dies. But the earth I don't think the earth really got torn open, and I don't think a tidal wave really got there.
Turns into a tree again.
She does turn back into...
And then it expels the little egg.
All of that happens. I'm just saying, I don't think the earth really opened and a tidal wave happened. I think it was metaphoric earth opening and metaphoric.
It's difficult to tell what actually happens. But then what we see is up in the trees, we see the shadowy figures.
No, we were laughing because okay, before you see the shadowy figures, the egg gets spit out of the tree and it cracks open and a monster comes out, and then everybody's okay, and they have this montage of like they're okay, Usagi's okay, and then you just see Tuxedo Mask's head go like boop.
Yeah, not animated. Like literally, they just drew Tuxedo Mask and then moved the paper around behind the camera.
So funny.
Yeah, because nobody cares. No one cares about you, Mamoru.
And then Ray falls over dead. And they keep saying to her, "Pull yourself together, Ray."
Yeah, pull yourself.
Like,
I
this
know
is her
someone
fault.
just sucked your soul out of your chest, but get that shit together.
Pull yourself together.
Now, Devin, in your medical opinion, do you like need a heart? Is that like a necessary thing?
Like your physical heart or your
metaphoric
heart? I would say physically, yes. You need your heart.
Yeah, you know how I know?
For this
you know
little
how I know?
Christmas tree ornament that they seem to have pulled out of her chest, I don't know.
You know how I know that you scientifically need a heart to live? Is that in Star Wars Episode 3, she dies of a broken heart.
Jordan.
So anyway, we cut to a shadowy figure in the trees, a pair of shadowy figures, which are like, I don't know this yet, but it's Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, this is a waste of our time," which is like,
yep.
Which is such a weird thing to
say. These people for no goddamn reason whatsoever.
And then
her heart was too small, so they throw it back. It was too small. No good. Throw it back. And they're all just. I'm also weirded out at the scouts' reaction to this too, because they're sitting around their like dead/dying/dead friend, whatever. And this, like, again, like she said, a Christmas ornament, like, just flies up slowly and sits over her for a minute and then goes into her body. And they're just like, huh, we'll just let this happen. Like, it can't be worse than her being already dead, I guess. So whatever it is, let's just let go with it.
Yeah. And then like, it goes back in and they literally just go, "Ray's back to normal." So maybe not the best episode structure, but you know, close enough.
Together. Well, then Usagi cries about it, and we get to make fun of her for crying over her
out
friend.
of relief over her friend not being dead.
See, that's not a purple Luna. That's a gray Luna.
That's purple.
No, that's gray.
Come on,
gray.
Get your retinas checked.
Anyway. Hi.
So we get one last little bit from Dr. Tomo and Kaolinite, and just going like, "Uh-oh, there's Sailor Scouts. We ran into a little resistance we didn't expect. And I was like, yeah, do people not remember there were Sailor Scouts anymore? Like, you remember how there was a giant crystal in the middle of town, like, last week?
Tomo wasn't in town at the time.
Yeah, they weren't covered. I mean, this is the thing, is I think most of the time the Scouts aren't covered on the news. And you're right, they did not say Tomo in this. They did like I said, they did in the dub, but they didn't in this version, weirdly.
Yeah. So that's it. That is how the first episode of Sailor Moon S ends. Jordan, we don't have a Sailor Moon Says.
We do not. We do not.
What are we going to do?
We have to be the moral arbiters, and we have to really seriously decide what this was about.
Okay, I guess we're just gonna talk about what we learned on this episode. Devon, you are our guest. We will start with you.
Well, I guess I learned I have to rethink cardiac anatomy entirely, because people have little Christmas tree ornaments in their bosoms, and that represents their heart. So I don't know. Everything's changed. Everything's different. My life is a sham.
Yeah. Escape is
Escape
joining
agrees.
in.
Escape agrees.
I learned that if a cat eats your cod roe, you can't re-get it.
Just a heavy sigh.
What did you learn, Chris?
Geez. I learned that everybody's got a goddamn crystal in them. I mean, I guess that's the same thing that...
I also learned that examinations in Japan are way more interesting and fun than tests in English tests in Japan. Way more fun than English tests in America.
I got you. Now I get
it. Does anybody just ever carry around a crystal? Does it have to be embedded in everyone's chest at all times? Is that how crystals work?
Yes.
How else do you keep yours safe? Come on.
That's what it is.
Well, they're never safe. There's always people trying to
yank them out. Yes.
People only seem to carry crystals inside their body, and that seems dangerous and inefficient. That is what I learned. Thoughts on
you know what? There's
sometimes they break up and turn into kidney stones.
Before we stop, now that we're moving into the final thoughts, there's actually a big thing that we didn't talk about yet, which is this episode of the dub is the first episode of oh my gosh, what's her name? Linda Valentine, I think, or is it Linda Valentine or Ballantyne? Let me look it up.
I think it's Ballantyne.
Linda Ballantyne. Yes, it's her first episode as Sailor Moon. Terry Hawks is no more, although I think she comes back for the movies. But it's a real bummer for me because I thought Terry Hawks was wonderful. I love Terry Hawks. And Linda Valentine sort of sucks.
I remember when I was younger.
Not that nice.
You hated it.
Sorry. One of the reasons I never came back and watched the end of Sailor Moon is that when these episodes were finally coming on, I went and watched one and I just didn't like Sailor Moon's voice anymore.
Yeah.
And I couldn't divorce it from the ones that I'd seen a million times with Terry Hawks. So I'm wondering if now that I as an adult, as someone who is slightly more forgiving of change and the concept that things are different sometimes, if I could get back into it, because I also had a similar problem with the Pokemon anime.
Okay. I mean, I'll say when I watched it years ago, eventually I got used to her, but on immediately getting to this episode, it was very jarring again, because obviously on some level, I know that Terry Hawks is doing a funny voice when she does Sailor Moon's voice. That's probably not the way she talks every day, all that nonsense. But Linda Valentine, it just sounds more like someone is doing a funny voice.
Yeah, I remember that being the thing for me. It was very like this. It was very kind of clowny.
Yes. It just
and I remember
fakey.
not caring for it.
So hopefully we'll get over it. But yeah, it's a bummer. We'll miss you, Terry Hawks, and welcome to the show.
We'll see you at the crossroads. And welcome to, you know what? Maybe it is time for a re-examination of Linda Valentine.
Sure.
You could sound a little more excited, Jordan.
Let's re-examine it.
That was worse. That was worse. Never mind.
Any other thoughts on the episode? Like I said, I liked this one. I liked the Monster of the Week stuff. I think the villains are introduced in a pretty compelling way. I have no idea what they're trying to do or why, other than that it's the Holy Grail.
Hey, come on, Holy Grail. It'll let you do whatever you want.
Yeah, of course. That's in the Bible. Like I said, straight up biblical, all this. It's medically and biblically accurate, that's very rare.
So now that we've officially pissed off everyone with that statement.
But yeah, I'm really excited to go into S, and we will continue that in future episodes. Devon, before we let you go, can you let everybody know where they can find you online?
Sure. I am on Twitter at Kaylina, Caylina.
I'm on Twitter at Crackshot with a 0 for an O. Also, the show